Hello, everyone. Welcome to GT Time. I am your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us, as always, is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones.
Hello.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Good afternoon.
And our prolific Zelda player, Michael Damiani.
I hate you, Kyle Bossman.
What are you doing with your mic, man? You're gonna...
It's probably like bumping it.
Yeah.
If you hear bumping, it's just Michael Damiani being
my
nervous.
mic is going to fall over.
People with subwoofers are suddenly going to have a different experience.
What do you hate?
I'm
What
the
do you?
sound effects
Why are you
guy.
not proud of being the prolific Zelda player?
No, just when it comes from you. It sounds like...
Sorry, I'm not Bill Trennan. Sorry.
You're
Basically,
full of
anytime
control.
we see Zelda on the back screens now, like people just walk by shaking their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we've recorded all of this. Why is it being recorded again?
Sure, he's a prolific guy.
I have to deal with a lot of harassment with that. It's not fun.
Do you deal with real life harassment for that?
No, I'm just talking about like in the back.
Just in the
whenever
work.
it captures
Yeah,
Zelda,
yeah.
it's just like I can always
This
expect.
isn't real life.
I can always expect Marco or Ryan
Even
to walk
though
out and just go.
he has a Zelda reference on his license plate as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You got pigeonholed. You definitely got pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Everyone, we have to start the show this week with our first ever correction segment.
Uh-oh,
Correction.
What happened?
I've accumulated enough mistakes so that we have enough to make up a little
I
corrections.
think it's interesting that it's you've accumulated, not the rest of us.
It's mostly me. I mean,
Okay.
as moderator, I'm basically responsible for all of these things, so I'll take responsibility for it. So here we go. Cue corrections music, and let's begin. Okay, so that time we had the bet about the version number of Elder Scrolls Online, I had that wrong. I said it was 1.0.0.9644485. Commenter, that guy Dave, said, "Sounds like Kyle read off the build change number. The patch notes have the game's release version at 1.0.2. Not that it changes the outcome any." Smiley face. Because it didn't. I still won that bet. But it wasn't anything as extreme as 1.0.0.
So
Yeah.
what I was saying earlier with like Final Fantasy 14, it's
Right.
like on point.
Yeah, and I told you
2.1.
you were dumb. Yeah, you were not dumb.
Okay.
Redeemed.
So that's one correction. Destiny. Last week none of us knew Destiny's release date. It's September 9th. It has a release date.
Yeah.
We didn't say a wrong
no one
release
asked
date,
me.
though.
But I mean, it kind of goes along with what I've been saying, though. It's like, I think I'll probably dig that game, but for whatever weird reason, I'm not excited for it. So not knowing the release date kind of plays into that, right? Like, if you're really looking forward to Destiny, of course you know when it's going to come out.
That is
But to me, it's like, well, when it comes out, I'll play it a lot.
that's a unique release date. September 9th is crazy, actually, for what it's meant to be and what they're positioning it as. For it not to come out deeper into the fall, I think is pretty interesting.
Now here's the next correction. Is it next gen? Is it current gen only, or is it going to be on last gen consoles?
It'll be on 7th and 8th generation consoles.
So is it going to pull a Titanfall and be out
The
on like
numbers,
PS4, Xbox One?
Oh, and then they kind of
and then-
delay it
yeah.
due to, who knows. Yeah, one last correction. Too many people to count. Bro, that was Deadman 20, actually. He was the first person to bring up September 9th. Kind of rude about it, but, he was right. Anyway, the fancy leaves that were on the poster,
Laurels?
they're called laurels. They come from ancient Greece.
I saw that comment.
Wait,
yeah.
There's like too many of that comment to count. There's so
Oh.
many. However, like basically the use today is on movie posters. Like it's not like they were designing the cover for The Last of Us and they're like, oh, let's use those laurels from ancient Greece. They said, let's use those laurels from movie posters.
Right.
But whatever. Okay, correction music over. We settled all our corrections.
That's not too many.
Yeah, there wasn't too many. You're right. But
I
corrections
feel
have
better,
been made.
though, that we've done that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was talking to Alex. Alex is a site producer for us, and he says they do it all the time on like sports shows, like daily sports shows, and it made me feel a lot better for having to do corrections. Because we're just shooting the poop, We're just letting stuff fly.
I would bring my phone along just so we could do correct research, but then I would just play games on my phone the whole time.
What game
So,
would you play on your phone?
Clash of Clans, probably.
All right.
Tiny Death Star.
No, both of those games really put a bug in my craw. Let's start the show. First big news story this week. Not necessarily, it didn't pick up a lot, but I think it is probably the biggest news story this week. The Xbox One version of Amazing Spider-Man 2 delayed indefinitely. This is a game that's coming out next week. I think it was just last week. It was announced as delayed indefinitely. Game's coming out on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Wii U, Nintendo 3DS, and of course PC. Why not Xbox One?
That's definitely not a question any of us know the answer
Exactly,
to.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's a totally unique situation, but it is weird for a game like this in which something's got to be really wrong, right? Because these games are terrible a lot of the time. People don't expect them to be perfect.
Good point. Yeah. Sure.
So I was like, yeah, if you patch it a week later, like, who would care unless it's something just really just can't be
Could
solved.
not pass certification, right?
Yeah. But like in terms of like other games, like you were asking about, like, has this ever happened before? Like, I don't have a lot of specific examples, but I mean, Titanfall 360 sort of falls into that.
Same, very late delays.
Metro Last Light at one point was announced to be for the Wii U, and then they eventually just said, like, no, we're not going to do that. And then I want to say, like, this kind of thing happens a lot with, like, PC versions and sometimes digital games as well, have these weird split releases.
This one's weird in that it's delayed indefinitely, though.
Yeah, that they're canceling pre-orders.
Right.
That's weird.
You've been waiting to say something, Damiani. What's up?
I was gonna say, like, the one that would seem most obvious that they'd be canceling it for would be like Wii U, but then the fact that it's coming out on other, I guess Wii U is kind of, let's be honest, like, it's on par with, like, the last gen consoles, even though some of us here think it is next gen.
It's 8th gen.
It is 8th gen, but in the common tongue, it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not,
yeah,
it is
absolutely.
not
No,
on
it is
par
not.
with those. So it's probably just an easy port job. Like, hey, it runs on PS3, 360, Wii U, so you're putting on that. 3D. I guess the 3DS one's a little. Yes, it makes
Way
okay
different game.
sense.
Yeah, it's like
that's
it's probably
totally
outsourced.
different team,
It's
I'm
just
sure.
to me, it's just like if it's coming out on PS4, if it's not coming on Xbox One, like I just am at a loss for what the reason is. This early, people thinking that it's going to be the install base? Like, it can't be. Like, it's not that far.
No.
behind.
No, it's nothing like
yeah,
that,
what
I
is
assume.
this? What is, like? I'm just like, what? This is so. It's just weird.
It's weird.
It makes no sense. It's strange, and it is amusing to go through and read what people are theorizing about what it actually means. Like, it has begun. Like, images are starting. Like Xbox One is done and stuff. Blah blah blah.
It's
like,
not that.
It's funny. Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of a really weird thing. When X-Men Origins Wolverine, or whatever exactly it was called, came out, I at that time did not have an HD TV yet at home.
Okay.
And so there were these weird glitches that I was wanting to, like, point out and put into the review. But then when I get to work, I couldn't replicate them. But then when I get home, I'd see them again. And it was, like, specific to being in SD resolution. So I had to, like, to rig it a certain way so that I could actually capture that. But, yeah, I wonder if there's just, like, something like that in the code that's like, oh, we're having to run it at, like, 800p or something on Xbox One, and that's screwing something up.
Oh, something weird and unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Right. That has to be what it is. I mean, it is coming out on that many platforms. It's clear it's a rushed game. They're trying to get it out before the movie, which I think is next Friday.
This is gonna be a great game.
Yeah, and exactly. Brandon, does this game matter? Does the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the game, matter?
Matters to Spider-Man fans, I guess, but, like, to the industry, no, not really. I imagine this is like a contract thing. It's got to be. It can't be like some weird glitch or some weird technical thing with the consoles, because, like you were saying, it can't be sales because the console sales are not that far apart. I don't see anybody, like, seeing the Xbox One version being like, no, like you were saying, like, these games suck anyway. I mean, like, that doesn't. Spidey deserves more than that. It seems like a weird contract thing. Like, I don't want to read too much into Sony producing the Spider-Man movie and creating the PlayStation 4 and the PS3, which it will appear on, versus Microsoft's Xbox One.
It's still on 360, we should remind you.
Yeah, I can't. It seems like a weird contract thing. It seems like some weird thing with that particular franchise not having something that appeared on the consoles. Like, if they make an Amazing Spider-Man 3, we probably won't see something like this if they can work out a deal. But yeah, it just seems like some weird contract thing, because there's no evidence to the contrary of it specifically being a graphics
Is there
thing.
evidence
There's
of
nothing we've
anything?
seen.
I mean, I looked it on our site. There's like 3 trailers. I mean, has anyone even seen this game?
Have we played it? In any,
I've seen gameplay. I've seen
Have
gameplay
you?
of this game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It does exist.
And there's nothing weird, there's no, I don't know. I think there would be rumors about something weird with the visuals or some weird glitch or something to justify it.
Man, I think a contract thing is weirder than glitches. Really, like
Who knows what the reasons for that not working
how they
out?
fall through. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We can't really talk about like what happened. I guess just.
I mean,
like,
what if every NPC just has their head on backwards? You know, I mean,
I'd play that game. I'd still pay $60 for that game.
That's
I
not a
don't
deal
know.
breaker.
It improves
That's a
it.
cheat. That's a Grand Theft Auto cheat right there.
I guess all we can comment is how crazy that is. That
Yeah.
it just delayed indefinitely, so close to its release. Next week is when that game comes out.
Indefinitely is like a mean word, you know? It's just like,
Yeah, you never
why
like
am I
hearing that.
grounded? Indefinitely.
Oh, and actually, so Brandon, I should say this: their public statement, Activision's statement, is that they are working with Microsoft to make it happen. Which doesn't, you're right, that could still be a weird contract thing. Working with Microsoft.
The
to-
game
you're right.
developers are not doing that working. The lawyers are. You know what I mean? So it sounds like a contract thing.
Sure, that
It's
could
like
be.
we're having business meeting and phone calls about some weird thing that fell through just in the planning of producing this game for this brand new generation of consoles. You know,
It
it's like
just
this
seems.
is
it seems
HD
weird
plus
to me.
Spider-Man, and you know,
I don't know how that really makes sense.
If you say the word thwip, maybe Connect allows you to web swing.
Or maybe if you say something really inappropriate, it does something. in the
Because
game.
Spidey never would. Spidey
Yeah.
never swears. Sure.
some like Connect photography mode.
Hey, that's actually cool.
said.
His job is photographer.
Yeah.
That's all weird speculation at this point. But yeah, that's such a strange thing to happen. Next story this week, Nintendo's first ever season pass appears in Mario Golf World Tour.
No.
Bloodworth just shuddered. Does this give you the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. All right, Mario Golf is one of those games where like a lot of people enjoy it, but again, like I don't know anyone like really cares too much about them doing something like this in Mario Golf. If they did this in Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, people would lose their minds. You know, and it's setting a precedent to do something like that.
Yeah, I guess I should explain what it actually is. They're adding 3 extra courses to the game, and with each course,
It's 3 courses, not 3 sets
3
of courses.
packs. No, you're right. It's 3 sets of
Okay.
courses. Right. And with each pack of courses comes a bonus character: Rosalina, Nabbit, and
Toadette.
And if you buy the season pass, you get Gold Mario, a new character who has never existed before.
Oh man.
It's just Mario made of gold. First, if you spend enough money on the game, crazy.
They have a way of like making these things like look really slimy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They definitely do. And he's got like a bonus where like if you use a special move in the game, like you earn coins just from playing as Gold Mario.
I remember there was a mount in Minecraft you can only get with money. There's no way to get it. Like I think it was like $20 or $15.
In
Minecraft?
I'm not in Minecraft. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Warcraft.
Okay,
One of the
good
crafts.
grief. Yeah, sure.
That'd be great. Yeah, it's this unicorn in Minecraft. No, it was in Warcraft, and I got one, and a friend of mine would always say, he's like, I literally see you riding around on a $20 bill every time I see you. It's that ridiculous.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if they're like Nintendo doesn't really want to do this stuff. They're just like making fun of the rest of the industry, and it's like, well, you know, people want us to make some more money, so okay, we'll do this. You know, we'll put out this really blatantly bad thing, like Gold Mario.
Yeah, like Gold Mario. I think,
Or the
Damiani, do you think it'll work?
rusty thing where he's making you guilty.
Yeah, will this work?
Define work.
Will it be successful, and will Nintendo keep doing this?
They'll keep doing it, but Mario Golf is not going to sell well anyway, so this is not going to...
I think it'll sell
This is just
fairly well.
This is a way for them to make more money off games they know aren't going to sell a certain amount, so I think the lower selling games are going to be more targeted for this
I'm
type
sorry,
of
do you
DLC.
think Mario Golf for the 3DS is a low-selling game?
Yes, I do.
Side bet.
Yes.
It's going to get in the NPDs. It'll be...
Well, yeah, because nothing's coming out.
All right, so I'll say it'll be 6 or above.
6 or above?
Yeah,
Is that on the NPDs list or individual SKUs?
and the whole NPDs list of all the...
Okay, so it doesn't make the... If it's not 6 on the...
on that
on
top 10.
NeoGAF,
Yep.
but it says like it was number 4 top SKU,
Yep.
that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count.
Okay.
I'm selling this. This game will sell very well. It's $30. It's on the 3DS.
Oh, wait, it's only $30?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Well,
part
how
of
much
it.
is
Never
it
mind.
season pass?
So
Never
with
mind,
the season,
$30.
so with the season pass, it would be 45.
Oh, like $29.99. Never mind. People.
Yeah, exactly,
I
dude.
thought it was like going to be $39. Like,
That's an
normal
interesting
3DS
way of
games.
looking at it, though. It's like, well, it's only $5 more than you expected.
I don't. So the extra courses, at least in the way they appear, it looks like they're using the assets from the courses that are already in the game. They're just like new designs.
Right.
So it's not like you're getting what is more of what's already in the game. You're kind of getting like little.
Is there still going to be
Permutations.
unlockable stuff? Like if you get like all like really good rankings and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. You'll
they're not
you'll never
taking that
unlock
away?
Gold Mario. Yeah,
But what if the new unlockables are crap?
they're not going to be Rosalina.
That's one
yeah.
of the. So if you're questioning, I guess, how is Nintendo going to do this in the future?
Yeah.
Like one of the tenets of their games is those like secrets you find by
Yeah, dude.
doing 100%. Because Nintendo doesn't do achievements in their games. That is their form of achievements. That you 100% the game, you get Yoshi on top of the roof for getting 120 stars, or you unlock playable Rosalina in
You get
Super Mario 3D World.
sunglasses and a
Yeah,
Hawaiian
you get
t-shirt, yeah.
cool stuff like that. And now if they ever take that stuff away, they're like, no, you pay us $5, we'll give you Rosalina, and we'll give you another course too, maybe 2,
3 courses, I think.
and we'll
yeah.
give you like alternate color Mario outfits. You can use those too. Actually,
$5.
like selling skin. Like I was alluding to selling skins, like selling skin stuff. Whatever. That's superficial stuff. It's not like a new playable character.
Yeah,
it's not a new
that
level.
seems fine.
So like
Yep.
for Smash Brothers, I would not be opposed to them giving new costumes for Smash Brothers characters. Completely superficial, does not
Right.
change anything. And if you just want to pay for that, you care about that, go ahead. Doesn't affect me at all.
And it
I'm not
doesn't
gonna-
seem like something that's removed from the game, since
Yes.
they never had like alternate costumes before. It doesn't seem like it's something that's taken
Yes,
away from you.
it's not, and it's not. I don't think they'll waste that much development time. So people argue that okay, even though you're not ruining my like gameplay experience, the fact that you have to spend extra resources developing that when you could have been making stuff in the game better, like I don't know. I think skins aren't that
Yeah.
labor intensive at that point. So that stuff's fine, but I don't want them to ever cross the line where it comes at the cost of, man, does it feel like this game would, like lost a little bit of like, that extra stuff that you got to do. There's a little less incentive to go unlock this stuff because they decided to hold off on it and make that DLC.
I guess I should mention this Mario Golf game has more courses in it than any other Mario Golf game.
How many of them are new?
Oh, you think there might be repeats?
I don't know. I don't really play the Mario Golf games except for the first one.
Yeah, but still,
No.
I'm saying it's a substantial game before the DLC even.
Right.
Like, more substantial than we're even used to in a Mario Golf game.
Oh, when I see like Mario Kart, like usually like half the tracks nowadays
Half
are
the exactly half, yeah.
redone.
You know-
old
Yeah.
tracks, yeah.
This made me think of something really weird and funny.
Go for it. What do you got?
Like Professor Layton and some of the other games that have had DLC,
Yes.
it's already on the cartridge. I wonder if this is on cart DLC,
Man,
and you
it
just
probably
pay to
is.
unlock,
Sure, dude. Like, I
Yeah.
bet it is.
because they already know what all of that stuff is.
So,
So that's kind of gross.
Brandon, have you ever bought a season pass?
I haven't. I don't think. Yeah.
Like,
Although I don't dislike them. It's one of those things I have to have someone explain it to me why it's bad. Because instinctually I'm not just like, oh, damn you for offering another pricing model that you're not forcing me to pay.
so like, what? Yeah. So,
Anytime it's optional, like I don't understand I understand why not liking it. I understand why chastising a friend for doing it, but like getting angry at the publisher for offering it, I don't.
So kind of like what Blood
get
just
it.
mentioned. Actually, I think this is a good kind of season pass because you know everything that's coming. There are
That's a great example.
There
yeah.
are blind season passes.
Those suck. Yeah, that's
that I
stupid.
think are a bad idea.
But it's still optional.
Right, and
You know,
still
going
completely
to Vegas
optional.
and betting on stuff, that sucks too. Don't do it. Just if you're taking a risk there. I don't know. It just seems kind of the bad things about offering it are also the bad things about buying it. So it's not just it's like it seems obvious why it would be a bad idea. So don't do it. Speak that way. They'll stop offering them. Was some game recently redacted it or didn't do it for a sequel or something or
Season
haven't there been
passes?
haven't there been publishers that are like, okay, I'm sorry, we're not doing season passes for these anymore.
I mean, I know they've gotten rid of
Yeah,
online
yeah.
passes
Online.
with a lot of games,
EA.
but that's different.
But I think generally people love their season passes. Max Payne has season pass yet? Is that the one that
Did
got
it?
weird? Maybe that was the one that got weird. Here's a correction in the making.
There you go.
Because you just have those games, it's like the next, Red Dead 3. Like hell yeah, I would buy a season pass for that game. I don't care what they would announce. I would just shut up and take my money.
But I mean, that's the thing though. Like when like BioShock Infinite, like part of the season pass was like the whatever combat in the clouds thing.
Yeah.
Like that's not what people were really expecting. Like they wanted 3 story missions, and it's like, oh, this is what we're getting. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess once Burial at Sea finally wrapped up, people really enjoyed it. But even the first episode of that kind of had lukewarm reception.
You don't know how frustrated that made me. It was, hey, this is a game that is about parallel universes. infinite universes. And then all of the DLC is taking place either in Bioshock 1 or Bioshock Infinite. It's like we're going to Rapture and we're going back up to the clouds. I'm like, that's it? That's the entirety of your infinite universes? You're just going to those two spaces?
I thought they went to Paris a bit too.
Did they? I don't know,
Yeah.
but like, ugh.
Got to reuse those old assets.
Exactly. That is what DLC is, isn't it? Is reusing what you have. I kind of like the idea of a season pass in theory, and that like your game lives for longer than after you beat it.
Yeah.
I just hate that name. Sorry, I hate the name Season Pass.
Don't be sorry for that. What are you sorry about that for?
I thought I was cutting you off. For
You're
a
not.
second.
No. Go ahead and cut me off anytime.
I hate the name Season Pass because it makes me think of sports seasons, which makes no sense to me for a season pass because there's no games don't have seasons. It just,
Call of Duty basically does.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
does.
okay.
So does Assassin's Creed. Sure.
and then or television seasons where it starts in fall and ends in spring and
That's what it's like. It's exactly like that. Yeah.
and I guess it goes a year, but even that, like games come out at such random times. Is it like the only thing I can find consistent is that some of them usually last about a year's worth of content is usually the premise. I don't buy these things. I don't pay attention to them and I don't care about them. So, but then whenever I hear season pass, like someone just invented this name because it sounds catchy and sounds like familiar vernacular to the average person, so they feel safe with it. And to me, I'm just like, this sounds really stupid.
Well,
Like,
and
I
they
just
would
call
work.
it DLC.
They would work. Tickets work that way. So you
Okay.
have theaters or
like Disney season pass,
and,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You were going to
like
Disneyland
the
for
Hollywood
earlier.
Bowl here in California. It's
Oh,
like the season would
okay.
be the summer, so you would get like it's like once you buy in and then get a tickets to everything.
Yeah.
Based on the tickets, and you get a discount on it. So it's like it has a precedence before, just not in games.
Just call it the platinum package. So when you buy it.
Or like the total package, like the complete edition.
Yeah,
like
but
But they can't do
whatever
that
name-
The
because,
complete
like,
edition.
Game of the Year edition. or
Yeah,
whatever.
see, with like Borderlands, is like, well, they had a plan for how many things they're going to include in the season pass, and it's like, oh, well, we're going to keep making more things, and that's not included the original.
I will say that I am huge on developers and publishers having a vision towards what they want to do with releases. And that, it's like, that's one of the problems I had with Warcraft, where every expansion seemed like, oh, let's do this. And it's like, do you really have a master plan here, or are you just kind of like pumping out more stuff?
Yeah,
And so when
reactionary.
it's-
A lot of
yeah, so when it's like
reacting.
that, it's just kind of, you don't really know what you're getting, then, it's more difficult to invest in it.
What do you like? You seem to have a clear vision of this person who does have a path.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm just thinking negatively. I couldn't think of any positive examples.
No,
I
you
think
said
of one
I
later in
really
the
like
show.
it when a developer has like a clear idea of like what's coming forward.
I don't know, because I haven't played a lot of DLC lately. I usually just move on to other games.
I'd say the most DLC you've bought that I've witnessed is Disney Infinity. I'd say that
Yeah,
totally
probably.
counts.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, because they announced. Actually, that's a good example. Thanks, Kyle.
Okay.
Providing my own example. But yeah, they announced all that stuff. You had the Hall of Heroes, so you could see all of the figures, even though it was like 6 or 7 months before all of them actually came out.
Oh, you could see them before you can own them?
You could see the statues that represented them, so you could
Oh,
walk
cool.
up and like see a little trailer, a little gameplay, even before they like technically announced them.
Weird.
But
Yeah, those guys
Yeah,
you,
well,
you
that came
can't
out.
buy before they exist, which is a good thing.
right,
Yeah.
pre-order.
Well, don't pre-order
You
them.
can season pass them.
Would you actually? So hold on. If you could have a discount for a season pass for Disney Infinity,
Oh yeah.
you totally would.
Oh my god, of course.
Because that's the thing is they are. If you know what's coming, they're good for the consumer.
Yeah.
You are saving money getting a season pass. Is the good thing about them.
It just depends on if you're, do not care, casual fan, or you're way into it. For those
Yeah.
people that are way into it,
That's a good deal.
That's who they do it for.
Yeah, get those gold Marios. Moving on, Xbox One will launch in Japan on September 4th. Yes, it will. It's happening. Damian, you haven't spoken in a while. Does Xbox One have a chance in Japan?
Is that a serious question?
It's a serious question because it was serious news this week.
No,
Okay.
does not have a chance at all. I mean, I don't know. Like in terms of what they could do, they tried with just going back to Xbox 360. They tried snag. I just remember they snagged up a bunch of JRPG exclusives
Right.
for a while, and I was like, oh man, this like I have to go get an Xbox 360 now, at least here. And then I remember when I was doing like Tales of Vesperia, reading the news how in Japan it caused like the 360s to sell out in Japan because Tales fans wanted to play it. But then as soon as all those the publishers and developers, the exclusivity contract ended, they went right away to make PS3 versions and like uniform, like across the board. Almost this might be a correction, but I don't think it will be. I think every PS3 version of an Xbox 360 JRPG sold better on the PS3 in Japan.
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
I think Vesperia like quickly surpassed the 360 like lifetime sales, and then every like the other ones just like followed suit at some point. And that just to me was like, I don't know what else you could have done. Like you went to go get like a stranglehold on like what. Like a stranglehold on like what that demographic loved and made those exclusives to a platform that they want people to buy there, and it had a small short-term impact, and then that impact went right away. And there's no way that Microsoft this time is going to get exclusives again. That's not happening. And
So Phil Spencer has actually promised one exclusive.
okay, of an existing IP or a new IP. I saw that quote, but I
Yeah,
didn't
his
fully-
quote is a unique exclusive title coming to Xbox One.
a unique
You know what he's
exclusive,
probably talking
downloadable.
Project Nagano? Is that what we're talking about right
about.
now?
D4.
Oh, you're right. They did announce that at E3
Yes.
last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
And that's like a
not-
Kinect game.
No, they're not getting.
it does look unique, but yeah, you're right. It might be D4 he's talking
They're
about.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have a hope. I think they probably just have like a very limited plan for release in that territory that will make them some money. But I don't think they have any delusions of grandeur that they're gonna like go in there and like
Yeah.
knock PS4. Plus, the other part of the argument is how like consoles are doing in Japan. Period. Like PS4.
PS4 is not even killing it.
Yeah,
right?
it's
yeah.
PS4 is
Right.
not killing it. The handhelds are killing it. So
I mean, PS4 still needs the good Japanese games.
that too.
Yeah.
That's waiting for it.
People will probably boost up once, there is a Tales or a Monster Hunter or something along those
Yeah.
lines, but those games just aren't even there yet. So
And it's like, what is Microsoft going to put out that's going to be any more alluring? And then, just fighting that battle that consoles are just declining in Japan right now.
So part of this press release that was really amusing is it says, here's a list of 48 developers that are working on the Xbox One in Japan. Blood had a lot of interesting notes.
I
about
have a
this.
lot of things on this list of developers.
Blood, take apart
First,
this
though,
list, yeah.
before we move on from the actual sales and consoles, a fun fact that I was
boy.
following is that the Wii U, which we all know has been doing terribly worldwide, in Japan has outsold the Xbox 360. So this is what Microsoft has to look forward to with the Xbox One.
Sure, is Wii U sub Wii U sales?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, we can probably scroll through this list while it's on the screen. I'm not going to go through absolutely every one of these, but this is a funny list because they're saying like 48 Japanese companies will develop games for this console, and this is a very funny way of framing 48 Japanese companies. First company, 2K Games. This is not what I call a Japanese company. They have an office in Japan, I'm sure, but okay, sure. Access Games, that's D4, that's what we were already talking about.
Okay.
Acquire, that's, not totally unexpected. They did like Tenchu and stuff. Maybe not really sure what they'd actually be doing, so that's be
Exciting.
curious to see what they do. Arc System Works, they put out Blaze Blue and stuff on the 360, so no surprise there. Atlas might be a little bit surprising to see what they do. 'Cause
Sure.
I can't think of many Atlas games that have made it to 360. But again, if they're doing
Catherine?
Catherine is it's probably the most notable
But
one.
Persona has not
Persona,
been on
the Persona
anything
fighting
but-
game.
Okay, yes, Persona
Yep.
fighting
Yeah.
game.
The fighting
but
game
the
did make it,
mainline numbered ones have not been on anything but.
The most dubious on the list: Bandai Namco Games and Bandai Namco Studio. Separately
Two
listed.
different
I like
companies.
that.
48 companies. Yeah.
Bethesda, not Japanese.
Oh, but they're doing what is it? The scary game.
Oh, Evil Within.
The Evil Within. I feel like they should kind of count for producing that.
Maybe, but I mean that's I guess that kind of halfway works.
Sure.
Cave is not totally a surprise. They put out like Akai Katana and Mushihime-sama like shmups and stuff on Xbox Live Marketplace.
Cool. More of those.
Codemasters.
Definitely
Not even
Japanese
close.
game.
They're like
Japanese developer.
they're just probably getting published under Bandai Namco again. So,
Sure.
it's just, Cyber Connect 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, but again, they
Only
are going to
do
be
Bandai
either
games?
under Bandai Namco
Yeah.
or they're going to be under Capcom.
Sure.
most likely. They're not going to publish something. D3 publisher, that's not really surprising. They did EDF, they did an H-Ambara, they publish a lot of weird licensed games. EA, not a Japanese game, pretty much, not a Japanese company, pretty much abandoned like their attempts to get Japan, like MySims and stuff like that.
So these were listed as Japanese companies? These are like, the Japanese company supporting us?
The way that the Kevin word is, like, this is reported by Famitsu and
Right.
Gematsu as 48 Japanese companies developing games.
That is so funny.
But I mean, I don't know what the original source of that read like, because it was probably in Japanese.
Yeah.
But maybe companies bringing games to Japan.
What is the weirdest one left on that list?
Let's see, weirdest. I'm trying to see. I look through all these now. I mean, they still they have like others on there, like Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Take-Two is on there as well as 2K,
Yeah, that's
which
weird.
is another funny duplication.
Yeah, so I mean,
But
I feel like
I guess maybe one of the weirder ones is Silicon Studio, who did like 3D Dot Game Hero and Bravely Default.
Hey, all right.
As well as NIS, who does like Disgaea and Dragon's Crown, usually PlayStation stuff.
Bravely Default and 3D Dot Game Hero, same developer?
Yeah, same studio.
Whoa,
That's crazy.
that is crazy. I like both of those
They
games.
also did like Operation Darkness, which was it on 360.
What is Operation Darkness?
It was, man, I don't remember it entirely. It was like some weird alternate history, but futuristic as well. Justin knows that game. I
Sure,
don't know
it
the
sounds
game
like a
well.
Justin
I
game,
have like
absolutely.
some mental image of it, but not very clear.
So anyway, 48 companies is a weird thing to brag about if you're going to be that misleading as you count them down. Strange thing to publish and put out there. Best of luck to Xbox One come this September in Japan. Everybody, guess who was cut out of Uncharted 4 this week?
Kyle's been waiting for this moment.
The person that we hadn't
Somebody
heard
could
of
have been
before
fired
Kyle
while
brought
we
him
were
up.
having this conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure there were a few more. Todd Stashwick, who we talked about at great length last week, talked to IGN this week and said, yeah, he's been cut out of the game, as I proposed last week and was met with grotesque expressions of, what are you talking about, Kyle?
Why didn't you go talk to him and get that exclusive?
I know.
Why'd you
I wish I was as cool as IGN and doing actual journalism. But yeah, he's out. Todd Stashwick, everything that the 6 months of capture he'd already did is out of the game. He will not appear in the credits, as I was tempted to bet. And then before that, earlier that week, Nate Wells, the lead artist on The Last of Us, he's gone. He left Uncharted 4. He's working at, or he left Naughty Dog anyway. Work at Giant Sparrow, who did Unfinished Swan, which is awesome.
That's somewhat within the family, though. That's interesting.
So kind of within the family,
Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of still, yeah. Clearly, we're seeing a lot of like Naughty Dog, Uncharted 4, Fallout. A lot of people leaving. This leaves me with like the question: is Uncharted 4? Are we like at the tail end of development where everybody's leaving, or are we way early in
Well,
development?
Nate Wells, as you said, wasn't an Uncharted 4 guy. At
Right,
least not
yeah.
that we know of.
It's just weird everybody's leaving. I
Yeah,
guess.
there's
Is
a lot of
Uncharted 4
people.
in trouble, or is it like already done?
I wouldn't say it's in trouble. I'd say neither. I don't think it's in trouble, and I think they probably got a ways
Brandon,
to
I
go.
love that answer. Thank you.
Because we haven't seen. I like to be really assertive on this show.
That is assertive.
'Cause we haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen.
We saw
like
a map.
yeah.
And some guy who got cut out of the game. That was his voiceover.
But I think it's not just Uncharted. It's Uncharted 4, 5, 6. I think they're really signing on for like a new trilogy. You
know what?
like,
That's a good
really
point. Yeah.
branching the series. You know, it's like God of War. Like there was no real hint to God of War 4. You know, like Halo. A whole different studio had to jump on, so it's like a whole new team, a whole new commitment to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I think it's not just saying like, do I want to be involved in this game? It's maybe not for this guy's working on Star Wars, but you know, for Wells and you know, for other people leaving the team, it's like, okay, I'm going to get off this bus now because it's going all the way to Albuquerque, and I want to go someplace else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe part of it. It's every one of these people that we know where they're ending up. It sounds like they're moving into a place where they're going to be more influential.
Yeah.
It's like a better career move, you know. Justin Richmond going over to Riot. I don't know what he's doing,
But he gets to be a
But-
boss.
but he's probably working on some kind of new game. And then Amy and Todd on Star Wars is huge. This guy doing stuff at Giant Sparrow, I'm sure he's going to have an enormous amount of work to put into that, whatever they're working on.
You know what's funny? It's kind of like a very successful football team. It's really hard to keep all of your talent because they become too valuable, and like because of your salary cap, you can't
Right.
keep them all hired. And so, like if you have a really good team, like the Seahawks had last year, like they can't keep that team together forever because they can't afford to keep all of those amazing players.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I think it's similar just on that comparison. But I mean, game companies don't have caps. It's just how much budget they have.
Exactly, yeah,
And I
that's
feel like
your
they.
salary cap.
I think they had the money. I think it's more was being implied earlier. That was like the freedom to have more authority. And
Yeah.
creative
Yeah,
input.
because at Giant Sparrow, say like look at Naughty Dog. Chances are, it seems like that they're just going to be working on Uncharted, and then maybe or maybe not a Last of Us sequel. So for somebody like Nate Wells, like his job is kind of laid out for him. Like the art direction for that is laid out. He's not going to
Established.
be able to do anything crazy. But if you look at Unfinished Swan,
Yeah, dude.
oh my gosh, he could do whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, from a creative standpoint, that's very inspiring, even if he's making less money.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. So the goal is to like get onto a big game that wins a lot of awards, gets a lot of laurels on the box, and then just get your own gig after that, I guess.
And what's Uncharted 4 going to be? It's just going to be a bigger Uncharted. It's like you were saying, it's not necessarily going to be something where you can do something crazy or you can take in a crazy new direction. Like I think people really have anticipation for it for the first next
Yeah,
gen.
I mean, Uncharted 4 is not going to be a cel-shaded fantasy adventure.
right?
Most likely.
Most
Like
likely.
a dream sequence, maybe.
the
Drake
new
is in the
art
end.
director.
I mean, as far as we
is, like,
know, it
tearing
could look
apart
like,
papers,
G.I. Joe, but
Yeah.
probably not.
Sure. Last little story before we go. First look at in-game character model in Call of Duty 2014. Are you gentlemen ready for this?
I do not care.
Woo! That's a good looking cheek.
That's the thing.
a lot of pores.
Not to be
To
cheeky
me,
about this game.
That is a good looking cheek.
Sure.
It's like the stuff they showed off with Hayachi Tekken face close-up shot or video for PS3.
That's what this feels like.
That's what this feels like.
It feels like we're at the beginning of a generation again, and they're just showing off faces.
Isn't this like when they did Ghost and they just showed like the dog rotating in a circle? I mean, come on. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we can put a
sure.
little tattoo on the inside ear of the dog now. We couldn't do that before.
Sure, like the hat and like the headgear that you can kind of see them wearing. Like probably fans are like over analyzing that like right now.
Oh, like what era the game will take place
like
in?
what,
Sure.
that like yeah, they're all hopping. I think they give them just enough.
This guy in the background looks like he's wearing a beanie though.
Definitely guy wearing a beanie in the background. That puts us in at least like 1990s and above.
That's it.
Yeah, dude. Beanies? Like military guys wearing beanies did not exist
Isn't
during
like
the
the Call
80s.
of Duty world over? Isn't it like after? But I seriously, isn't like the world destroyed? Wasn't like the whole purpose of of
I don't know
Ghosts?
anymore, dude.
And then it's just these guys. Like
Yeah.
like so many people died
after
on
the-
planet Earth, and like no one's ordering them. It's like
Well-
they're ghosts. They're all
No, that's true.
Wasn't that the thing?
But
played
I mean,
0 minutes of Call of Duty Ghosts.
I thought that
clear
was
that beanies existed before the 90s in this alternate timeline Call of Duty.
So alternate history, they're wearing
yes.
beanies in the 50s.
Now they're doing
yeah.
alternate history Call of Duty. Forget actual historical fiction. We're gonna do made up.
No, Brandon's got an interest. Like, dude, they do have to like reset their lore basically.
They don't.
Yeah, they do, dude. They can't
don't.
continue from
No,
where
no
this.
one cares about the lore. No one cares about
Well,
the
they can
single
bounce
player.
around. Like they can tell a story in present day, and you just know that Call of Duty.
Ghost is going to happen.
Modern Warfare 3 is happening. That like this just kind of ties into.
We
that
get a
story.
guy of
I mean, that's
named
what
Bleach instead of
Metal Gear's
soap,
doing
or-
right now, right? They're kind of going back into the middle
Yeah, that makes
of
no sense
everything
either.
and filling in the gaps.
Even Metal Gear is
There's no
finding
gap.
problems filling in those gaps, and being
There's no
consistent.
need for that.
Yeah.
That
No
is
need to do
ridiculous.
this.
I hate that picture.
Good.
Oh, thank you, thank
because,
you.
Not to bring trailers into like every conversation, but it's like you need to make such a huge explosion at the beginning of your campaign. Doesn't matter what game you're doing, especially for something like Call of Duty, just to like kind of fart out this weird image. It's just like, no, just don't say anything. Just be totally tight-lipped, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, oh my god, I wake up someday and I go to bed that night. My head's full of Call of Duty because I'm just like, I saw this amazing trailer today.
Yeah, IGN published it. You're right. It is a weird way to show the first look at your upcoming game, which has no name at this point. We just know Sledgehammer is making it. You're right. Weird way to debut it.
It's like, just imagine watching that first trailer whenever that hits, and then not having seen anything versus seeing this guy's cheek. It's like, To me, that's not gonna raise any levels of anything positive. You know, it's just weird and it's not a cheek game. You know, it's weird to focus that heavily on something. It's like I need to see explosions. Like I need to see the story. I need to see the premise. Like that's what I'm going to care about.
You're right. Why are you?
When I am living in the game's best moments, it's not going to be about the pores on some guy's face. It's going to be about what's the story, who am I, what's led up to this point. That's what you build up in a trailer, not cheeks. You know.
Well said, Brandon. I truly appreciate all those comments.
When they do release a trailer, I bet that shot is like one of the frames.
Of the trailer?
Like there's a scene in there where it like shows that angle and starts like that.
I think honestly this is like they're just showing like in game. Here's what our characters will look like. I'm sure this character isn't even like a main character. Or something.
I imagine that this was somebody in some developers at some desk or something like that, and some guy was like, "Look at this cheek," you know, and then like some guy came by and like took a picture of it and was like, "Send me that picture of that," and then was at some meeting or something, and he was like, "This cheek's blowing my mind, guys," and
we gotta show this at GDC.
Everyone else is like, "Yeah, okay, whatever," and then he like, is that IGN one day and just hands it off to him, gives him a USB drive or something. I don't know. It seems impulsive. It seems not planned. It seems unprofessional is a little strong, but it just seems like weak and weird. It's just like make everything you do. I know social is fun, but like wait to do that stuff until after we find everything out about your game.
Yeah.
Or enough to like make us understand it and start to build anticipation.
Yeah. So I mean, that image was shown at GDC privately up until this point. You're right. Like what happened between now and then, where they said we got to make this public. Everyone's got to see this cheek. That is so weird.
Cheek's going up tomorrow, right? Oh yeah, you know it. The cheek hits tomorrow.
Cheek exclusive for IGN. They got that watermark. Sure. To close out the show, we got to make our big closing bet. Talked a lot about Spider-Man. That's coming out soon, the game. Comes out next week. This week's bet, how long will the launch trailer be?
I like it. I like this bet.
Brandon, again, because you keep losing, you get to choose whether you want to go first or last.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Minute 40.
Okay, that's a really great bet.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
1 minute, 32 seconds.
1 minute, 27 seconds.
Undercut me.
Oh my gosh.
Blood,
Also tight.
safest thing to say right now is 1 second.
This is like The Price is Right. We haven't been this close on something before.
Well, actually, that's not the safest. I really don't know what strat to
No,
play
I'm
here
gonna
yet.
go. Man. I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go to a minute.
Yeah.
1 minute. Good call.
I was gonna go 140 because that was the last game's launch trailer, and all their other trailers have been shorter than that.
Yeah, the other side of my brain is saying 1 minute. It's just like maybe minute 10. I would say
Because they're not going to have a lot of accolades, clearly. I don't think we have a review copy of that game yet, do we?
No.
Yeah. So I don't know like what they're going to even put in a launch trailer for that game. If it doesn't exist, Blood automatically wins too. Because that would be 0, and he's
Yeah,
closest
I
to
was gonna
0.
go with that,
We'll
but
read
then I
the fine
found out
print that
that
says
I
Xbox
found
One
out that there
trailer.
was a
Like,
launch
oh,
trailer
no.
for the last one. So
Should have seen the fine print.
Last week's bet, we bet about the NPDs, where Dark Souls 2 would lie. Blood guessed it exactly with number 5, and that is where it landed. So just as a tally for everyone keeping track, this is our 8th episode of the show. Blood has won 4 times. I've won 3 times.
I missed 2 episodes.
You still lost. You had your proxies lost the bets for you. Okay. If they won, you would have won. And Damiani,
Okay.
you won 0 times as well.
So that's 7 of 8.
wow.
Where's the 8?
That was this week.
Oh, okay.
We'll see who wins
Oh,
this
okay.
week with that
As long as I
launch
can
trailer.
win before Damiani, that's all that matters. I just don't want to be the last.
Yeah.
Or never.
Yeah, it was a trailer bet. You're at the best spot to win a trailer bet, I feel like.
That doesn't make me feel
Yeah,
better.
I mean,
If I
he
lose
went
it-
with what I was going with, so I think he probably nailed it.
If I lose it, I'll just walk away from the show.
Okay.
I can't recover from that.
So, Blood, you have earned the right to close out our show and plug a video, so please do that.
Yeah, well, I got to play Foros or Watch Dogs, and then try to piece together a preview from all of those many thoughts, and then somebody else's footage because we weren't able to record. So that was a challenge and definitely something I'd like people to check out. Watch out my Watch Dogs preview,
Cool. Put a
Sweet motorcycle jump in that preview. Sorry.
Cool. Yeah, we're just putting a link below. You can click on
which
that.
I did not do that motorcycle jump, but I did drive
But it's
off.
sweet.
I did drive off a bridge and then have to swim back to shore.
And you're just thinking, I got so much time left. I guess I shouldn't waste the time. Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, our Twitter handles are here. Be sure to check us out. Ask us questions in the comments. We like to respond and talk to people, and have a great week.
Cool. I got us in like under 45 minutes this time, which I'm pretty happy about.
People would lose their minds, 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 lose